Hello, welcome back to Working Title, The Emerald Knight Part 5. To get into things, I will let you know that writing this session was very tough. You will see me pause a lot. Partly because I was a little daydreamy when writing. Well, hold that thought. Let me talk about this right here. This magic phrase. I kind of just threw something down because I needed something. I Now I've seen media and shows and stuff where they don't use magic words to do magic. And that's great because they just get to the point. They don't have to waste time with a word or a phrase to just do the magic. Like in Castlevania, they just go straight into it, and that's really nice. It gets straight to the point, to the action. But at the same time, there's a little it just feels a little unceremonious, like when magic is happening, or when magic is brought out and used. It's almost spiritual in nature. Often it feels that way, and I feel it appropriate to admit something with your mouth, like of a spiritual nature, to admit something out loud with your mouth instead of just thinking it. Because at that point it just becomes like telepathy if it's just all in your head, or pyromancy or whatever. I would like something that's ancient, has heritage and stuff, but how deep I go in with that will remain to be seen. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, if I can recall what the heck I was saying at this point, because there was a lot of action going on, and a lot of definitive actions that needed to happen, I felt, because there are moments during this session of writing that are poignant. That's a good word. Yeah. But these moments need to be hit because they are moments that will stick with Aranthis for certainly years to come, and certainly will have an effect on her in the future, especially when there are moments when she recalls this stuff that's going on, and all she can remember are images and maybe sounds or whatever, but the images will cut deep and stay deep, like this moment here. I'm pausing because I'm trying to figure out how to express it, but like Aranthis is remembering the first memories of this guy, and then witnessing his final moments. And the character just can't go out with just one statement. I mean, they can if they weren't like important or anything, but in terms of character, but I felt it ceremonious to have these people that Aranthis has known her practically her whole life, and taking in taking with her through with the rest of her life these unique thoughts or feelings or images, as well as adding some characterization to how they go out. And then it's kind of crazy how all this stuff just hits Aranthus all at once, just one after the other. I didn't feel like that when I was writing because I was taking so long with it, but seeing it play back now, it really did just all happen at once. In due course of the drama, amidst the drama, and for the drama of what's going on and the due process of things. But anyway, I was also, like I said earlier, I was daydreaming during this writing session, partly because I was trying to figure out what the heck to write down, and partly because I was thinking ahead, you know, how all of these events were going to play out accordingly to, like in previous sessions, end up where it needs to be or where I want it to be. And then there are moments where I just put something down for the sake of putting something down to rework later, because the main focus on this session was to get those final moments, those moments that would likely really stick with Aranthus for many years to come. Like, even when she's into, this is sort of a tangent, but like, even when she's into like old age and only remembers like images, these sorts of things will pop up into her head, you know what I mean? This moment, comparing her heart to a tin cup, I thought that was, I felt pretty good when I was writing that. I still think it's pretty good. Maybe a little bit of revision, it'll be even better, but I thought that was pretty good. Reminds me of Toni Morrison's Beloved. Don't know why I had to say it like that, but one of the characters, Toni Morrison, compares his heart to a tobacco tin case, and how it, at a certain point in the story, it's like rusted shut and described, you know, in a similar nature in other points of the story, but it's always about the tin case. But I don't really see myself keeping the tin cup as her heart. We'll see. I find myself running out of things to really talk about, that are of enough import to really talk about, things that I haven't necessarily talked about before. And I don't want these commentaries to really be me repeating myself again and again. I will say that Aranthus's father's, he goes out really over the top, and I am okay with that. But yeah, I'm running out of, for this session, I feel like I'm just running out of things to really talk about. I haven't really run into that issue until now, but there's really nothing much that happened in terms of difference compared to like previous sessions. This one is like just really focused on these final moments, and like I spent a long time trying to get those feeling at the very least unique. And the feelings Aranthus has as these moments come to pass. I finally finished the thumbnail, the the serviceable cover for the Emerald Knight, the sword, and the little jewel. I spent a while making that. It spent longer. It always takes longer than you think. Always. I thought it turned out really well, though. And I enjoyed working on it, but at the same time, I was very angry when I was working on it because things weren't looking right. They weren't lining up right. And I tell you, that hilt of the sword was just the worst of the whole thing. It was so aggravating to deal with. It looks really simple, but I thought it would be. But at the angle that it's in, well, I always feel whenever I'm making a new art piece, like a digital art piece, by the end of it, I just feel, I feel relieved, but I also feel just so silly. And just feel like, that I just don't, just feeling like a novice because I'm struggling so much and trying to get it to look the way that I want it to look, you know? Like, I wasn't, like, bent on perfectionism, but, like, I wanted it to look nice. And just feeling like a novice and trying to get it looking nice. But anyway, back to this. This is the moment. This is the moment right here that we have been waiting for this whole time. We finally got to the new character. This is another moment where I kind of just throw something down to be of service. I will admit, I'll be the first to admit that it's very lackluster. This character's entrance, it feels lackluster, especially compared to all the other dramatic moments we've just had. But, hey, we did it. We got to her. Shh. I didn't say that. Anyway. Yeah. I wanted to add one little detail to the sword, not the sword on the title screen, but the one right here, the bronze sword. Wanted to add that it was. I didn't think of it at the time, but I wanted to add that it was covered in blood. But anyway, coming up on the end of it here, and hopefully we'll get to things that are really interesting and dramatic in the next time. Thank you for watching.